Picture this. 73-year-old Margaret stood in her living room, surrounded by 40 years of memories, clothes, books, photos, and mementos from a life well lived. She had just 48 hours before the moving truck arrived. Her kids were across the country, and she was completely alone, staring at decades of stuff. Overwhelmed? That's an understatement. But what happened next shocked everyone, including Margaret herself. In just 2 days, she didn't just clear out her entire 3-bedroom home. She felt liberated for the first time in years. How? 7 ruthless decluttering rules that go against everything you've been told about letting go. And the best part? These rules work for any senior, even if you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or don't know where to start. Today, I'm sharing Margaret's exact system because what she discovered changed everything about how seniors can approach decluttering. Margaret wasn't naturally organized. After her husband passed 2 years ago, her home became a museum of memories she couldn't touch. Sound familiar? Maybe you're holding on to clothes from a different decade, sentimental keepsakes, or just-in-case items piling up in your closets. If that's you, drop a comment below and tell me your biggest decluttering challenge. I read every single one. Before starting Margaret's story, subscribe to our channel, Seniors Decluttering Diaries. Margaret's story is powerful because she didn't spend months agonizing over every item like most decluttering advice suggests. Instead, she used 7 counterintuitive rules tailored for seniors dealing with a lifetime of possessions, limited energy, and emotional attachments. By the end of this video, you'll have her exact roadmap. No fluff, just the raw truth about what works when you need results fast. Let's dive into the first rule. Rule 1, the Triage Method. Margaret's first rule is called the Triage Method, borrowed from emergency medicine. Just like doctors prioritize patients based on urgency, Margaret learned you can't spend equal time on every possession. This saved her from the analysis paralysis that kept her stuck for 2 years. Here's how it works. In just 15 minutes per room, divide everything into 3 brutal categories. Can't live without it, medications, important documents, daily essentials like your favorite coffee mug or birth certificate. Might need it someday. This is the danger zone where most people get stuck. Haven't touched it in a year. Automatic elimination, no exceptions. Now here's the ruthless part. Margaret treated might need it someday like haven't touched it in a year. Why? Because someday is often just fear talking, and fear keeps you trapped in clutter. She gave herself permission to be wrong about a few items rather than stay paralyzed by indecision. She started in her kitchen, where necessity is obvious. In 15 minutes, she realized she had 23 coffee mugs, but only drinks tea now, 3 sets of china unused since 1987, and enough gadgets to open a restaurant. The triage was merciless. Keep 2 favorite mugs, donate the china, trash 90% of the gadgets, including a bread maker used twice in 10 years. The breakthrough? Letting go didn't make her feel deprived. It made her feel free. Each room she triaged gave her confidence to be even more ruthless with the next. What's your biggest might need it someday category? Old clothes? Kitchen gadgets? Books you'll never reread? Drop it in the comments. Naming it is the first step to breaking free from clutter. Rule 2, the 10-minute sprint. Decluttering can be exhausting, especially for seniors with limited energy. Margaret's second rule saved her from burnout, the 10-minute sprint. Most advice ignores that seniors have about 10 minutes of emotional decision-making energy before mental fatigue sets in. After that, you start keeping everything because deciding feels too hard. Here's how it works. Set a timer for exactly 10 minutes per small area, not an entire room, but 1 closet shelf, 1 drawer, or 1 cabinet. When the timer goes off, stop immediately, even if you're not done. This prevents overwhelm and keeps you sharp. Margaret tackled her bedroom dresser first. In 1 10-minute sprint, she sorted her top drawer, expired meds from 1998, 17 dead pens, old Christmas cards, and manuals for long-gone appliances. She filled a trash bag and reclaimed space she'd forgotten existed. The breakthrough? In stopping while you still have energy. Margaret did normal activities between sprints, made tea, watched a bit of TV, or rested. By day's end, she'd completed 24 sprints, 4 hours of focused work without feeling drained. She was energized, even excited for the next session. 10 minutes feels doable for anyone, even with mobility issues or chronic fatigue. Do you try to tackle entire rooms and then burn out? Share in the comments how that approach has worked or not worked for you. I bet Margaret's exhaustion will sound familiar. Rule 3, the stranger test. Margaret's third rule is brutal but brilliant. The stranger test: pretend a stranger's going through your stuff after you're gone and ask, would they understand why I kept this, or would they think I'm a hoarder? This removes the emotional fog of guilt and nostalgia, letting you see items clearly. She applied it to her sentimental items, where most seniors get stuck. Take her 23 photo albums full of blurry vacation shots, duplicates, and people she couldn't identify. A stranger wouldn't keep them. She condensed them into 3 albums that told her story, sparking joy instead of obligation. Her 47 decorative pillows? A stranger would see them as clutter for a house with seating for 6. Out they went. Her book collection? Romance novels and outdated manuals wouldn't make sense to anyone else. Donated without hesitation. Her wardrobe was a game changer. Margaret had dresses from her teaching days, unworn for 15 years. Would a stranger keep clothes for a retired lifestyle? No, she donated them to young teachers. This test gave her clarity to keep only what added value to her current life, not what she felt obligated to hold on to.
What's one item you're keeping that wouldn't make sense to a stranger? Be honest in the comments. Calling out these items helps you let go. Rule 4, the replacement reality check. Margaret's fourth rule tackles the fear of, what if I need this someday? It's called the replacement reality check, and it demolishes hoarding excuses with 3 questions. Can I realistically get another one if I need it? What would it cost to replace it? How often have I needed this in the last 5 years? Take her 12 screwdrivers. Could she get one if needed? Yes, for under $15. Used in 5 years? 0. She kept one and donated the rest. Her craft supplies, yarn, fabric, dried up paints, failed the test too. Fresh supplies would cost less than $20 and work better than crusty relics. The real eye-opener was furniture. She had dining chairs stored for a hypothetical big party. Reality check: she hadn't hosted more than 4 people in 8 years, and renting chairs was cheaper than storing them. The math was clear. Keeping just-in-case items cost her space, stress, and peace of mind. Most things you fear needing are easily replaceable. Margaret realized the hidden cost of clutter far outweighed the occasional $5 replacement. What's one item you could replace for under $20? Share it in the comments. Let's do a reality check together and free up space. Rule 5, the energy investment scale. Margaret's 5th rule saved her sanity, the energy investment scale. She stopped treating all items as equally important and rated them from 1 to 10 based on how much emotional energy they deserved. Level 1 items, straight to trash or donation. Level 10, carefully kept and honored. Everything else got quick decisions based on actual value. Her book collection showed this in action. Romance novels she'd never reread? Level 1, donated. Her late husband's manuals? Level 3, boxed for her kids. Her grandmother's cookbook? Level 9, preserved with care. This saved her from agonizing over low-value items. Her closet was a mess, 67 pieces, but she wore only 12. Most rated 1 to 3, donated in 45 minutes. The few she loved, rated 8 to 10, now organized with space to breathe. The garage was the ultimate test. Garden tools, camping gear, old sports equipment, all rated 1 to 2. She cleared 80% of it by refusing to waste energy on things that didn't serve her now. This freed up emotional energy for friends, hobbies, even dating again. What's stealing your emotional energy? Papers, clothes, decor? Name it in the comments. Identifying these energy vampires is the first step to reclaiming your peace. Rule 6, the future self-test. Margaret's 6th rule shocked her kids. The future self-test. She made decisions based on who she was becoming, not who she used to be. Ask, does this item serve the person I'm growing into, or is it anchoring me to a completed past? This flipped decluttering from painful to exciting. Her business suits, symbols of her executive career, didn't fit her future as a retiree, volunteering at an animal shelter, or taking art classes. Donated. Her business books? Irrelevant to her new interests in gardening and travel. Out they went. Her craft room became an art studio with space for an easel and watercolor supplies instead of old fabric and a sewing machine she no longer used. The garage was the ultimate test.
garden tools, camping gear, old sports equipment, all rated 1 to 2. She cleared 80% of it by refusing to waste energy on things that didn't serve her now. This freed up emotional energy for friends, hobbies, even dating again. What's stealing your emotional energy? Papers, clothes, decor? Name it in the comments. Identifying these energy vampires is the first step to reclaiming your peace. Rule 7. Completion ceremonies. The final rule sealed Margaret's transformation: completion ceremonies. Instead of sneaking items out like garbage, she honored their role in her life before letting go. This turned guilt into gratitude and prevented regret. For her business wardrobe, she held a career celebration, recalling proud moments in her favorite suit before donating it to help other women. For books, she slipped thank you notes to authors inside, hoping they'd inspire others. Her photo ceremony was powerful. She thanked blurry duplicates for capturing moments, then released them knowing memories live in her heart, not boxes. For her kids' artwork, she photographed pieces, created a digital album called My Children's Masterpieces, and released the originals after a heartfelt goodbye. Her kids were moved to tears by the album. For broken items, she held a retirement ceremony, thanking a worn-out sweater or her mother's mixing bowls before recycling or donating them. The most profound ceremony was for her husband's items. In a love celebration, she shared memories aloud, keeping only what brought comfort. This gave her closure and peace. What sentimental item makes you feel guilty to let go? What ceremony could help you release it with love? Share in the comments. Sometimes saying it out loud helps. Margaret's transformation. When the moving truck arrived 48 hours later, Margaret was ready. She had packed only what served her future, donated 12 truckloads to families in need, and said meaningful goodbyes to a lifetime of memories. 3 months later, she called me from her new apartment. Her words stuck with me. I thought I was clearing my house, but I was clearing my life for the next chapter. Now she's teaching art classes, volunteering, and yes, dating for the first time in 20 years. These 7 rules didn't just declutter her home, they helped her discover who she was becoming. Decluttering isn't about losing things, it's about making room for the life you want. If Margaret's story resonates, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs it. Which rule will you start with? Drop in the comments. I respond to everyone. If you're ready for your own senior decluttering, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I share new strategies weekly to make your next chapter your best chapter.